And welcome everybody to the Huddle, KGUN9's weekly streaming sports talk show. I'm Jason Barr, joined by Pat Paris. Pat, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Feeling good about tonight's game, but, still got to get the win.
Talking about Arizona at Baylor, and I do think it's a big game because after the big win against Houston, you can't lose this game because it takes away from the win at Houston. I think you need to win this game at Baylor to back up that win and go to Texas and come back with 2 victories.
Well, I think, logic says they'll win this game at Baylor. It's not a gimme. They still have to show up. They still have to play. You still worry about the health of the team, and you want them to get healthy in time for Kansas on Saturday. But at the same time, I understand what you say. You might take a back, it'll kind of tarnish that last win. But I don't think so. I think it looks to me like in the Tommy Lloyd era, I say this is a signature win for him. Not only
only team he hadn't beaten in the Big 12.
The only team he hadn't beaten. Houston has only lost now 2 games ever as a Big 12 member at home. And remember, Jason, when you and I were in San Antonio 5 years ago, Arizona had gotten to the Sweet 16, and we saw that matchup against Houston. We thought, well, this is going to be tough. Houston under Kelvin Sampson is a very difficult, very strong, very tough team. And it turns out they were too tough for the Arizona Wildcats that year. But to me, this has been a 4-year journey of building this team for Tommy Lloyd into a team that not only can compete against Houston, but can beat Houston, even when they didn't have all the players that we'd expected them to have.
Yeah, that was the spring of 22. All right, so let's jump into our Huddle poll question. We do it every week. We'll take a look at the question here, and then at the end of the show, we'll come back and take a look at how everybody voted. Okay, so how impressive was Arizona basketball's ability to win big games despite injury and illness? Okay, and so you have 3 choices here. Okay, so the first choice is very much, it shows their depth and resilience of what they were able to do, right? And so the second choice would be solid. So it was a good win, but it'll catch up to them soon, meaning the injuries will catch up to them soon. And then C, really wasn't that great a win because other teams are hurt too. And, everybody's kind of dealing with some injuries at this point of the season. I picked B. It was solid, but they're not going to keep winning with these injuries. Pat, you're such a big Arizona fan. I root hard for the Wildcats, don't get me wrong, but I'm going with B. I know you probably went with A.
I went with A because I didn't think B is true because I don't see any evidence that they won't be able to overcome these injuries, continuing to do so, at least through tonight. And I think they're going to get Koa Pete back, and I think eventually they'll be able to, hopefully Anthony Delorso will be 100% soon, if not tonight. I just think it was probably one of the most impressive wins I've seen in the last decade for Arizona basketball during the regular season, just because of everything they had to overcome. The fact that nobody, College Game Day, nobody picked Arizona. Everybody picked Houston. I think nationwide everybody picked Houston, and Arizona was just able to get it done because they have now been able to do the great coaching job of fitting the parts in the right places to get the win.
Yeah. Okay, so you can vote on X is probably the easiest way to vote. You can also go to our website, and then we'll revisit and look at the answers at the end of the show. So it's, how impressed are you with Arizona basketball's ability to win those 2 games? So, a big part of that, though, was the play, Pat, of guard Anthony Delorso, who had back-to-back 22-point wins.
22-point games.
22-point games in those 2 wins. That's what I meant to say, right? But at the end of the game at Houston, he hurt his ankle, and it looked pretty bad. He was in pain, went to the bench, did come back at the end, but now he's on the player availability report as questionable, is Delly, who we see there. And so, yes, Koa Pete is upgraded from out to questionable with his muscle strain. Dwayne Aristote, he's still out with that illness, but we don't know about Koa Pete. We don't know about Anthony Delorso and how healthy he might be. They could even be more shorthanded for this game than they were in the last game.
That's a possibility for sure. I'm still hopeful that they're going to have Koa Pete for tonight's game, at least in a limited role. It would be nice to see him back. If not, that's fine. They've got other pieces. To me, the bigger setback is if Anthony Delorso can't play tonight. Then you start thinking, okay, maybe a seriously undermanned Wildcat team at Baylor is going to be tougher than we think. You would have normally thought when you looked at the schedule to begin with. Baylor's not a very good team, but everybody at home is a tough ask, right? Everybody at home rises to the challenge. Arizona may be the number 2 team in the country, but they're the number 1 team in the Big 12. So every Big 12 team guns for that number one. Last week it was Houston. This week it's Arizona.
At the end of that Houston game, they were actually 4 players down, right? Because you think about it, Koa Pete's out, Dwayne Aristote is out, Mo Krivas has fouled out, Toby Awaka has fouled out. That's 4 of your 8 rotation players. So you have to go to at least number 9 and possibly 10. You like Evan Nelson in there at the end of the game because of his ball handling and his free throw shooting, quickness. C.D. Gay, I don't know if he's ready to be a top 8 rotation player, but they really had no choice, and they'll have no choice in this game if Koa Pete can't play.
Yeah, I don't know that he's ready, we're talking about C.D. Gay, to be a regular rotation guy. But he has been impressive in the little bits of time that we've seen, especially that BYU game here last week. That kid impressed all of us, I think, with his just not being overwhelmed by the situation. Does he have some areas to get better at? Obviously, but he's the same kind of big guy that we've seen Tommy Lloyd come develop every year, and you expect that this is some valuable time for him this year in what turns out to be very needed minutes, but will make him an even better player next year.
But if Anthony Del Orso can't go tonight, that's big minutes for Evan Nelson.
Evan Nelson suddenly.
You wonder if even Sven Jotmo, no kidding, could get a couple of minutes off the bench, or an Addison Arnold, even for a quick 3-pointer. I mean, you don't necessarily want that to happen or to see that. But I do think it's big minutes for Evan Nelson tonight if Anthony Del Orso can't play. Or it could be one of those things where he starts to play and it's almost like just sit down because he's struggling so much. We just don't know because he got hurt so late in that game.
Yes, he did. He came back a couple of times because they needed his free throw shooting. Right. You don't know how it swelled up, the rolled ankle. The other intangible in this is are we going to see Braden Burry's get back to being Braden Burry?
That's right, he was
so you could just see that he was zapped of any energy. His free throw shooting, he missed short a lot. I just think if they get him back to 80, 85, 90%, then he's the kind of guy that can control a game as well. But all those guys, Burries and Bradley, Karchenkov, they still can't play 40 minutes. So you need to have, if they want to play 32, 35 minutes, that's fine, but you've got to be able to sub them a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what they've been playing. At least, Toby Awaka had 37 minutes, I think, in the Texas Tech game, I believe, or one of the games.
One of those games.
He had 37 minutes. It may not have been that game. Jason Barr, Pat Paris, this is the Huddle, KGO9's weekly streaming sports talk show. We talk heavily on Arizona basketball, which is now number 2 in the AP poll. I believe number 3.
3 Ken Pom, and 3 in the net.
But either way, on track for that number 1 seed in the West, which is what you want to see.
Yep.
They got a couple of games this week. They've got the game at Baylor on. That's tonight as we record this here on Tuesday, and then home against Kansas Saturday. A chance for them to avenge one of their losses.
Right.
And something also, a topic that's been a little bit of a national story that I wanted to bring up. Kansas has a star guard in Darren Peterson, who has not played a lot this year. He didn't play in the game against Arizona. There's video that kind of went viral of him hitting a 3-pointer and then subbing out. He is a freshman. He doesn't look like a freshman, but he is a freshman. He's projected to be one of the top 3 picks, but he hasn't played a lot this year. And, there's been some controversy on whether or not somebody would take him as a top pick in the NBA given his talent, but with the fact that he hasn't played a lot this year, I would not, Pat. I would not take Darren Peterson high in the draft given how much he's played this year.
I think his draft stock already has fallen, Jason. I'm now hearing like top 5 pick, which is still very good. I think you'd have to really do some searching about more into what others in the scouting world think about him. I will say this: he played last night against Houston,
30 minutes,
and played 30 minutes. That's the kind of minutes you'd expect a guy like that to play. He played fine. He didn't play great. He had a couple of shots, but he wasn't that 25-point performance. I think he had like 14 or something like that. He sure looks good though, Jason. When he's out there, he is one of the best players in the country.
But if you're not going to play, there's nothing, you can't draft a guy and have him be like a Zion Williamson situation or somebody who you just don't know if he's going to be there. And sometimes guys just kind of always get hurt. And I've told this story before. I don't know if I've told it on this show, but I was actually, covering sports in Virginia Beach, and Urban Meyer, who was then the head coach of Florida, comes down in a helicopter to recruit Percy Harvin, who was playing high school football. Did I tell you the story?
You've told me, but I don't think you've told our audience. Yeah.
So Percy Harvin's playing high school football, right? And in this game, Percy Harvin got hurt. Now, I'm not trying to mock anybody getting hurt in a high school football game, but you really don't see star athletes, high school football guys get hurt, right? Bijan Robinson was here, star running back in the NFL right now.
Never missed a snap.
Yeah, he didn't get hurt in a game, right? I mean, things happen. I'm not trying to make fun of that. But Percy Harvin gets hurt in this game. It wasn't the only time he was hurt. I think it was Lansdowne High School. And then he was hurt his whole NFL career. Some guys are just always hurt. Yeah. And I tell you what, if I was an NBA general manager, I would stay away from Darren Peterson.
I'm not saying you're wrong there. I just think that there's going to be somebody in that top 5 that says this is too great of a talent to let go. There's so many great freshmen. It's just, and I know this has been talked about nationally as well, but it seems every night, Jason, not only our freshmen we're watching, but somebody you're playing against in the Big 12 has one of those star freshmen. It's been really impressive what we've seen this year.
Well, Kingston Fleming's the Houston point guard.
Yep.
But Pat, the Big 12 has really changed in the last couple of weeks. When you have the star player for Texas Tech and J.T. Toppin out for the year with an ACL injury, BYU,
Saunders,
maybe A.J. DeBonce is
their
best
star
player,
yeah.
okay. But Richie Saunders is kind of the heart and soul of that team and has been for a few years. With him out, it's just a different team. And so the landscape of the Big 12 has changed a little bit. You still have Houston, and you still have Iowa State, and you still have Kansas, who's good. But without Texas Tech and BYU at full strength, it's still a strong Big 12, but it's not the same conference.
No. I still would say it's better than the other. I think it's ahead of the Big Ten, and still, even despite that, and it's miles ahead of the ACC. Not to take anything away, Duke's resume is very impressive, but when Duke gets to play a North Carolina one night, and then they're playing the bottom feeders of the ACC, they're not facing this gauntlet that Arizona's facing right now, and I think that'll yes. In a sense, we're fortunate that BYU didn't have Saunders and Arizona was able to win that game when they were really shorthanded. But Arizona's finding a way, even against a full-strength Houston team at Houston. Besides that maybe minute where they trailed a little bit in the second half, that game was theirs to win, and all they had to do was manage it down the stretch, which they did.
So the other big debate nationally with college basketball has to do with Miami of Ohio. Right? Here's a team in the MAC, undefeated. I don't think it's played anybody in the top 140, right?
Yes.
There's some stat like that. I might be off by a little bit, and we can double check, right?
I'll double check.
But they certainly haven't played a power conference team.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, they've run through some weaker teams and the MAC and deserve credit for that. But the issue is, and they are ranked in the AP 21, I believe it is, right? But the issue is this. If Miami of Ohio doesn't win its conference tournament, here's a team that might not get an NCAA bid with one loss. And you might say, oh, okay, but the Red Hawks, they're going to run through their conference tournament. Not necessarily. Akron's a pretty good team. They could lose to Akron in the championship game of the MAC, and Akron gets that automatic bid, and here's a team that goes 29-1 or whatever it's going to be and not make the NCAA tournament. What are you seeing there?
Well, right now, the net ranking has them at 48, which is much higher than Ken Palm, by the way.
Okay, so the 50s is what I saw recently.
And so they're sitting at 48 in the net ranking. They have no wins against Tier 1 teams. They have one win against Tier 2 teams. And then the rest of their wins,
only one win
against their 1-0 in Tier 2, 9-0 in Tier 3, and 14-0 in Tier 4. So some of their wins come against teams that aren't even in the 4 tiers. In other words, they might have gotten a couple of those wins against Division II teams early on.
If they lose to Akron in the championship game, that's going to be, trust me, come Selection Sunday, that's going to be one of the big stories. Does Miami of Ohio make it?
And even if they do run the table, they're undefeated. They're still going to get a 12 seed. I mean, it's not like they're going to get a big time seed.
I see them in the I see them in the 8-9 game if they go undefeated.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, but that's not an easy game either. And they're going to make sure that they put them up against somebody, legitimate, a Tier 1 team in that 8-9 game. They could be facing. I don't know, pick a team. They could be facing a team that is in that middle pack of the Big Ten. Let's say
I know what you
they
mean.
could face an Iowa or something.
Right.
You
It
know?
reminds me of when Wichita State went undefeated a few years back.
Yeah.
But that was a much better team. I believe Fred Van Vliet was on that team.
Yes, and they were in a better conference, much better
Kentucky.
conference.
They've had them play the Missouri Valley.
Yeah.
They had them play Kentucky in the second round. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're going to make sure Miami of Ohio gets a Power 5, a Power 4 team.
Yeah, a Power 4 team that's probably
like St. John's.
Yeah,
by the way,
a
St. John's is the hottest team in college basketball right now.
Their stock is rising.
I think they've won 14 in a row or something
After
like that.
a head scratcher of a start. I don't know why they started so slowly, because they were coming off of great season. Everybody thought they were going to be good this season, and they got to a slow start. But now they're playing well.
It took Pitino a few games to figure out whatever he needed to figure out with his guard rotation
and that's
everything
you know
like
what, that's college basketball now, because your teams change so dramatically from year to year.
Yeah, well, and people were making the point, is Arizona peaking too early, right? Did you hear that criticism? When you heard that criticism a few weeks ago, what did you think when you heard,
there's no peaking early. You just go out and win a game.
Winning should never be a burden is the message that Tommy Lloyd had.
And that's the whole thing, and it's the old cliche, you take it one game at a time. Next game up, you're gonna, but that's what you do. It's not like you tell your guys, hey, we're playing Baylor tonight, but we got Kansas on Saturday, so let's all take it easy because we don't want to peak too early. You can just go out there and win. That's what you do.
Yeah. So it's Arizona against Baylor tonight on the road in Waco. They spent a few days in Texas, and hopefully they're going to come back with a win here for the Arizona Wildcat fans watching. Is U of A now second in the country, just behind Duke. Let Duke be number one for a little bit. Let's see how they do with
there's
it.
no and
they're
what's
on
the
track
difference?
for the number one seed in the West, which I do want them to get.
Yes.
I do want the favorable. I know it hasn't always been the situation here where the number one seeds do well, but I do think there's a little bit less parity in college basketball this year than in previous years, because you don't have the players at the mid majors staying. Right, they're taking. Guys are going from in the case here, Arizona to North Carolina. You see players transfer not just mid major to major, but you see all the transfers. Happen, and so I don't think we have the really good mid-major teams, that maybe we had in the past. So I do think there's more parity, less parity. I do think the number one seed in the West means something for Arizona.
I do too. By the way, I saw Vasar playing last night. Yeah. They got a nice win last night. Vasar, he is just, he's that guy that's taken that next step, and I think a lot of it has to do with Tommy Lloyd, and then it became a playing time issue. They don't have the NIL to keep a Henry Vasar on this team when they already have Mo Krivas and Tobe Awaka. They might have found some minutes, but a lot of it too is NIL. You don't want to waste more NIL on three big guys when two are enough, and that's just what they have to do. And then you got CD Gay in the wings, and they had to make a decision.
All right, one of our new segments is the 2-minute drill, the 2-minute warning, where we have a kind of a rapid fire situation, Pat and I, and we have not seen these questions.
Nope.
So we're just trying to react quickly, and we got to get the ball down the field, as they say. So here it is, our 2-minute warning.
There's the music. All right.
Our first down. What is our first down question here on the 2-minute warning? Here on the Huddle.
We're waiting. There it is.
Okay. When will USA Hockey win gold again?
Oh,
okay.
Jeez.
Why can't they go back to back, right? I know it's been that many years, but look how much talent was on that team, though. So I'm going to say in 4 years.
Nobody's a bigger USA hockey fan than me, but I know it's been 46 years since the last time they won a gold medal. It's just not that easy, and Canada is so tough. All right, I'm going to say within the next 2 Olympics they will win a gold medal.
So 4 or 8.
4 or 8 years they will win, but I'm not going to say next Olympics is a guarantee.
I'm going to say they back it up, right?
All right.
Okay. Second down. How can the NBA fix tanking? Adam Silver's on it already.
They are.
They're on it with special. This all has to get approved, I'm sure, by the competition committee. Like, you can't draft in the top 3 2 years in a row, or that's one of the stipulations. Another is what was the other one I was reading about? It had to do with the ping pong balls get determined not at the end of the season, but maybe a month before
the end of the season.
There's so many things they can do.
There's another.
Adam Silver is already on it.
Yeah. There's another suggestion I heard too, and it makes sense to me, is those lottery picks. maybe you just don't weight the lottery picks. Everybody gets a ball in the lottery pick, and you make the bottom 12 teams a true.
I think that's how it was in the beginning of the lottery, if memory serves me correctly.
And then they wanted to weight it.
Yeah, it wasn't fair because some of these teams were really bad, right?
Yeah, but that's the whole point. So you don't want those. So maybe you make it so the bottom 6 have 1 ball or 2 balls, and the next 6, the 6 above them, have 1 ball or something like that.
Bottom line, there are ways to do it.
There are ways to do it because
okay.
right now the system doesn't work. Teams tank. There's no question.
Okay, 3rd down. Should Tiger Woods play in the Masters? If he's healthy, why not?
I think so,
You know,
too.
we want to see him play here in Tucson and a warm-up. Phil Mickelson did that a few years ago.
That would
We've
be
got
fun.
the PGA Tour Champions event. That's the name of the
Cologuard,
senior PGA
yep.
Tour with the Cologuard Classic. We'd love to see him here. You know, if he's healthy and he's gonna have a good showing, yes. If he's gonna go out there and have to, retire after, midway through his first round or something like that, then the answer is no.
There's nothing better for a golf tournament than having Tiger Woods enter, but he's got to be healthy enough and he's got to be able to finish. And you'd love to see him. We all love to see him compete, but he's got to be good enough and healthy enough to do so.
Okay, 4th down. Is Arizona baseball in trouble? Well, what do they want? They lost 3 or 4 to UConn, so I think are they 1-7 on the year?
I think so. By the way, I was at the game with my wife on Saturday, and they won.
What were your thoughts? That's their only win, I think.
That was their only win, so I don't have a great gauge on it. I'd say their offense is not where it was last year. Even early last year, I thought their offense was better, so I'm a little surprised with that. Pitching seems to, pitching can come around. I'm not so worried about that, but I don't know enough about every player on that team. I would just say this:
we need to see a little bit more.
We need to see more. Is it a bad start? Yeah, it's a bad start. Everybody knows it's a bad start. But don't forget, if you get these whatever issues that Chip Hale has right now with that team, if they get that figured out. Once you get to the Big 12, that's where it really matters, and that's where they made all their improvements last year was in the Big 12.
They did start 0-3 last year, and they made the College World Series.
Yeah.
But that's 0-3, and I think they're one. I have to double check, but I think 1-7 now. 1-7 is not good, and so this may not be a College World Series year, but it doesn't mean it's going to be an embarrassing year either.
No, but you would like to have seen them make the College World Series last year and then build off of that, and I thought we all were anticipating that based on their national ranking, their pick to finish second in the Big 12 by the media members, but right now they don't look like that kind of a team.
Yeah. All right, that's the 2-minute warning. Here on the Huddle with Jason and Pat. All right, so let's now wrap it up here with our Huddle poll question. We did that at the beginning of the show, and now we're going to finish up with it and see how everybody voted here. And it has to do with how impressive, did you think those 2 Arizona basketball wins were last week when they were shorthanded?
Yep, there
with
you
a couple
go.
Players down.
It was very impressive.
So were you very impressed because of the depth and resilience, which is what Pat picked? Solid, but injuries will catch up to them at some point. That's what I picked, 17.6%. And nobody picked, other teams are hurt too. You know what? That's fair. We really rarely see a 0.
Yes.
But I think the reason why is because Houston wasn't hurt.
They weren't hurt. They were at full strength.
Because if Houston was down a couple of players, I could see, okay, there's a reason to vote C. But given that Houston was at full strength, but you can make the case BYU wasn't, right? It didn't have Richie Saunders, but real pro
they beat
Arizona
Iowa
there.
State the other night too. BYU did at home, but they beat. I think BYU can overcome Richie Saunders being out. I don't see how Texas Tech overcomes JT Toppin being out. To me that's a much bigger injury, a season-ending injury.
Hard enough to win at full strength. All right, so that's a real pro Arizona selection there. All right, so again, Arizona at Baylor tonight, home against Kansas on Saturday. Only 4 regular seasons remaining, and the schedule's a little later this year. I think the tournament doesn't start till like the 16th, 17th, 18th.
Yeah, it is. It shifted just a little bit.
Goes to April 4th, 6th through 6th. So we still got a ways to go, but we are.
That game
we are
Saturday
deep in the
is
season.
looking big too. That'll be a game that everybody will pay attention to nationally. And when you have the opportunity
to avenge
a loss like that, it's that's what you're looking to do. And Kansas will be ready though. Kansas is starting to build that momentum back up that we thought that they were getting once Peterson came back. We thought, okay, now they got it, and then they stumbled a couple of times, but now it looks like they're back.
Maybe they can avenge Kansas Saturday and Texas Tech in the Big 12 tournament.
That's the way to do it.
All right, for Pat Paris, I'm Jason Barr. This has been The Huddle, KGN9's weekly streaming sports talk show. Thanks so much, everybody, and we'll see you right back here at the same time next week.